hanging out with us here this afternoon in the Occidental. We've gotten deep, man. We've gotten into some policy stuff, some politics stuff. We've talked about the area itself, and if y'all want to get in on it, bring it. As we do our Friday afternoon, 545-9950 is the phone number. If you're watching us online, you're looking at the beautiful bar here in the Occidental, way back in that back corner. I don't know what you can see on your screens, but that's where they have the Thursday night. They call it Bluegrass Jam, right?
Right.
Is that what they call it? And they let me pick with them 3 years ago, and that was just such an honor. Those guys are so welcoming. They said, "Come on, buddy."
I hear you're pretty good too.
Nah, not as good as them, but it was so fun. And you came that night, didn't you? Didn't you come back
came in
over
late,
that night? Yeah. Well, what I remember about that night is one of the guys in the band shouted out to the crowd here. He said, "This guy's all the way from Birmingham, Alabama." And one of the guys in the back said, "Roll Tide." I went, I said, "I'm the other school," and another person knew the joke and said, "War Eagle," and it was so fun. So football is college football a deal out here? I know you got the Cowboys and.
Well, we only have the Cowboys, so
that's
it's
pretty much
big.
it. Yeah.
It's big.
I like a one-choice state sometimes. or do they have a good following and all that goes well?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the alumni and yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
logo though. I like the Cowboys. What else would they be?
Right, Wyoming.
Wyoming. So here we are, and there's the bar, and there's the main street. Just a little traffic cam kind of shot, and of course here is me and Laura sitting here in the little. I found a little cozy nook by the front door, and so you hear the swinging door going here in the historic Occidental. Well, 1880, is am I correct? 1880.
Something like that,
so it was built, and just so much cowboy history and Western history.
A lot.
Every town had a little watering hole like this.
Don't they still?
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah. Now we call it Waffle House.
Oh.
It's Buc-ee's now. I don't know what it is where I'm from, but you go through these Western towns, and they've been able to hang on to them. So when I was in it was in Durango. We went to now I'm already forgetting the name of it. The one downtown in Durango that's one of my listeners recommended it. It was the Straighten, the Straightmire, the Longmire. I don't know. It was such a cool place. They had a live guy there playing piano in the corner, playing those old Western piano songs, like a real saloon, and the food was good. And every town you go to has these things. Yesterday we were in the Irma. You ever go to the Irma?
I have been in the Irma, yeah.
It's just fun, and the owner there, Mike's, is a cool guy.
They're great people
and,
there, yeah.
That was boisterous. We were directly in the bar, and we had all these loud people in there. They did not care we were doing a radio show. They were just having fun.
Cowboys.
So that was a fun time. A little bit quieter here at the Occidental.
Well, it's the middle of the afternoon. Just give it a minute.
Oh, what do we got? We got 2 hours, so we're expecting some rowdiness later. You say you have some events this weekend down on the square, some stuff going on?
Oh, we do. We have a group, the Saturday in the square, and during the summer, once or twice a month, they'll do a Saturday music in the square, and it's coming up tomorrow.
Good thing I'm gonna be here through the weekend.
Yeah, you'll
have
fun.
One guy I met in Jackson, Wyoming. I just ran in and went into his shop, and everybody always asks where you're from, where you're going.
Right.
People are so friendly to have those conversations. And I told him I was coming here. I mean, he talked for 20 straight minutes about a museum here in town.
We've got a great museum.
Tell me about this museum, because he went on. I can't even remember all this stuff, other than something about a bugler's bugle. He was killed in some. I think it was the Little Bighorn standoff, and his bugle was found years later, just crushed in the field. It's the actual bugle. It's in the museum. Tell me more about the museum itself.
Well, it's been here. Oh my gosh, it's been here a long time, and there's just so much history here in this area. From Little Bighorn being not very far away, we've got the Fetterman Battlefield, which was a precursor, if I'm not mistaken, to the Battle of Little Bighorn, which had a great influence on that battle that's never talked about.
I think that maybe what he was telling me was the precursor battle that was as big as had a big
because it was an absolute ambush.
Right.
And they had the terrain. The Indians drew them into the terrain. They
Wasn't
knew
that
the
Crazy Horse? It was a decoy or something like that. Is that the
maybe,
right? Have I got the right story?
That may not be that
I
story.
feel kind of ignorant right now
But,
because he told me the whole thing. But anyway, he said he just implored, you got to go to this museum.
It is incredible, and a lot of the generational families have donated a lot of the stuff from their family history, and it's small but mighty. Our museum here.
Is it open on the weekends?
Mm-hmm. I think I'm
think
pretty
I'm
sure.
gonna do
I
that in
know
the morning.
Saturdays, but
I'm gonna get a coffee and go over there in the morning and see
good
that stuff
idea.
because I love that stuff. How far from here? Because I don't really know the geography as well. Was the Little Bighorn battle?
it's about an hour and a half north.
Okay, just up the mountain range, just a little bit further. Or, no?
It's not really in the mountains anymore.
Okay, it's kind of flat, I guess.
Yeah, it's more in the rolling hills.
Yeah,
Plains.
yeah, yeah. And I just completely blanked out. Oh, I did get a message I meant to share with you. You have a new fan back in Alabama.
I do.
It's my mama.
I love your mama.
She is sitting here. My mama. We call her Nana sometimes because that's her grandmother name. But
That's my
she's
grandmother
listening.
name,
She
too.
said, "That's you're also Nana."
I'm Nana too.
From one Nana to another, she said, "I'm enjoying listening to Laura. Tell her hello from Roanoke, Alabama."
Well, hello.
So there you go. That's my little hometown. What I was just comparing this to, about the same size,
Yep.
a little small town with a main street. It was Mayberry growing up, but a lot of bad political decisions just took a lot of the industry away from our politicians back in the 90s, just doing bad international trade deals. And our man Trump's trying to get all that fixed, but I don't think he has enough time. Do you get a sense of that? Are you a Trump fan? I don't even know. I've never
I
asked
am
you
a
that.
Trump fan. He's disappointed me
Yeah.
a handful of times.
In what?
Well, the latest thing was the whole glyphosate.
What's that?
Oh, wow, another rabbit hole. Huh,
Let's
Leland?
do it. It's a long show.
Well,
Plenty of time.
you know, Bobby Kennedy is the whole MAHA thing.
Yep.
Getting us out of pesticides and out of vaccines and healthy and all that.
Because you
And
also run a health healing, natural healing.
I do alternative healing.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I
Okay.
want to hear about that
Yep.
because I don't know anything about that either.
No?
I don't. I'm ignorant. You can help me, but
Well-
so tell me what that means about the disappointment.
Well, Bobby Kennedy is doing all these things to get us out of pesticides and vaccines, like I said. And Monsanto has this pesticide called glyphosate that they spray a lot of. It's a GMO plant pesticide. And it's already used by the billions of tons on cotton and soy and canola, rapeseed actually. And it is a carcinogenic neurological toxin, and Bobby Kennedy was trying to get it taken out of the rotation and not used, and then Trump okayed somehow. Should have looked up the details. Monsanto won a big lawsuit and can continue using it, and it was just money driven by
You just
big,
feel like the Trump
big ag.
administration hasn't pushed it hard enough on that particular issue.
He kind of ignored that.
Do you believe in this MAHA stuff? You think it's working? I mean, I know they did the red food dye and they've done some other reforms.
Yeah, I do believe in it. I mean, that's been my entire 40-year career. I've been talking about that stuff for 40 years.
Well, educate me because
So-
I'm all about this. I'll give you a little backstory and then let you have it. I go to Italy for the first time. I lose track of the years. I think it was 3 years ago. We go there, and I took a bite of a tomato. My first night out to dinner in Rome.
It was a religious experience,
I
wasn't
had
it?
a flashback like I was a kid in my grandma's kitchen because she grew her own stuff out back from real seeds, and it tasted like my memories. And I remember just being, and I'm not the biggest tomato fan, but that thing was amazing. And then I started talking to the waiter about his restaurant. So where do you get your tomatoes? And I remember how he put it. He goes, "Oh, we've been buying from the same farmer for 400 years." They've got an ecosystem of farm to table stuff that's pure, not polluted, not all the stuff you're talking about, and you can taste it in the cleanliness of the food and the bread. Bread is real bread.
Real bread.
And you lose weight. You don't gain weight when you eat that trash. And when immediately the shock value of when you come back to the United States and all the impurities that are in everything we consume, we think even stuff marked healthy is just nasty.
It's not.
And it was a shock to my system, and I started getting more into reading up on these things. But this is your thing. This is what you do. What is that? What is natural healing?
Well, it's looking more towards homeopathic remedies, essential oils, supplements, herbs. Just I do a lot of alternative stuff, including like the emotional aspects tied to your health and trauma. And now it's coming out. I love this, that it's finally coming out. Rory Rife's work with frequencies in the body and healing the body just through sound therapy and light.
I've heard a little bit about that stuff.
It's now having a resurgence. And back in the late 1800s into the 1930s and 40s. That's what hospitals were, and the whole medical system before Rockefeller took over was about using sunlight for healing and using herbs and natural remedies and salt therapies and things like that for healing.
They used to prescribe people to go to places like this, into the mountain air, and
Right.
to be outside. They would, in the 20s, I guess, I may have my
20s,
time wrong,
30s.
20s, 30s, a doctor would tell you, go out west for 6 weeks and be outside a lot.
Well, that's what the quote sanitariums were about.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because people would go, just like you said, into the drier climates or places where the sun would heal, and all the mineral baths and
Yep.
the hot. They would travel for miles, for hundreds of miles to go soak in a mineral bath. I mean, we've got a huge mineral hot springs place here in Wyoming called Thermopolis, and in
Yeah.
Texas, the Mineral Wells used to be a huge healing center.
Hot Springs, Arkansas, places like that all over the country where they would build whole railroads into these towns so people
It's
could
true.
go get into the
It's
into
true.
the minerals and whatnot.
That's true.
Your counterpart on our radio station is a woman named Rhonda Dow. She listens sometimes. She's amazing too. Been doing this probably 40 years of similar stuff. I'm not an expert at it, so I'm always curious when she'll call in and give us advice sometimes on things. But who would your typical client be, and what do you do for them?
Well, a lot of wow, it's all over the
It's probably
map.
such a broad question. It's hard
Yeah,
to
it
answer.
is. But I do a lot of a lot of my work is centered around pain management.
Okay,
And
and that's a huge deal nowadays.
It's huge. It's huge, and nutrition is huge because your whole immune system, your whole health profile goes back to your gut and the terrain in your gut, and so you do a lot of detox programs with people and a lot of rebuilding of their immune system and using all kinds of what's considered alternative therapies. And,
You can put that right there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I dropped something on the ground. This kind gentleman just handed it to me. Right? So, how do you achieve good gut health? Do you have to just rid yourself of everything and reset it, or just
wow,
generally?
yeah,
or,
well, you have to clean it up. You have to
Does
do
alcohol help that? we're sitting in a
yeah,
bar. I was
not
joking.
Really.
It's just
No.
a bad theory of mine. I was like, a good shot of vodka and some
Well, a little bit
waffles.
of whiskey for a cough with some honey is medicinal.
My grandmother used to do that, and she had to watch me because I'd fake a cough a lot because I thought it tasted good. She'd say, "You're not sick. Get out of my kitchen."
Get out of your kitchen.
But it was the only whiskey in her house. She was a teetotaler. But yeah, they believed in those
My
things.
parents as well,
And
teetotalers.
to these days, when I get a throat thing, because it's my moneymaker, right? I can't work
Right.
if I lose the voice. And whiskey and honey and hot things like that are always helpful. Yeah.
The honey is hugely medicinal.
And is it really true that it's that local? I mean, you got to, in other words, if you live in an area, you should consume local honey because it's going to be more in tune with
Well, especially
any
if you're
allergens or whatever. in those
especially
areas.
if you're working with allergens. But
Yeah.
just honey in general is an antibacterial, antifungal,
Fascinating.
blah blah blah. It's very good for you.
You never know when I do one of these Laura shows in Wyoming what we're going to get into. We started off talking about these damn data centers and how that's a nationwide thing, and if y'all are joining us late. But I do appreciate that. We got a call right now about the Maha thing. I thought that might stir some people up on a Friday. Tom is on a cell phone over on line 3. Tom, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, man, doing well.
Good. Hey Leland, I met you back when the cobbler place opened in Trustful back in
Yeah.
a year ago or something. But I
Yeah,
had a question for Miss Laura. I'm getting diagnosed as rheumatoid arthritis. Is there anything natural to get rid of that?
Could you hear that question, Laura? Rheumatoid
did.
arthritis?
I did.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, rheumatoid arthritis is it's a multifaceted issue, and it's very individual. Treatments are geared more toward the individual, and there's a lot of alternative therapies that could help with the symptoms. Unfortunately, curing rheumatoid arthritis is very difficult because it tends to be influenced by genetics a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
But I would, my main recommendation would be to eliminate as much inflammation in your body as possible.
Okay.
Because it's an immune
Is there certain
issue, and
foods to cut out, or
Yeah, well, how do you do? What's a good way to manage inflammation? Which I think is a problem in a lot
Well,
of areas.
food is a huge issue, and we're talking about the Maha movement. One of the most prevalent things in our diet these days that is a hidden inflammatory cause is seed oils. And this is one of
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy's big pushes, and I'm so happy about that because seed oils are one of the main contributors to inflammation in the arteries, which is connected to the cholesterol, which is not what we're talking about, I understand. But it also just creates global inflammation in the body. So if you're trying to rid your body of inflammation, seed oils is one thing to
And
eliminate.
they're in a lot of
You have to
mass-produced
read
products.
every
What are we
label.
looking to get rid of? What kind of oils in particular? From
Anything that's
canola
acidic,
oil, all that
canola
stuff.
especially. Canola is made from the rapeseed, which is toxic to humans. So canola oil, to be made into canola oil, has to be processed and chemically extracted and processed in a high heat to where it becomes a hydrogenated oil, which means it's a free radical, which means it causes inflammation in the body. So canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower, any of that flours, oils that are cooked with, especially in frying like chips and things like that, are high indicators of inflammation in the body. And then anything, red meat creates inflammation in the body. I hate to say that because I'm not dissing red meat, but you need to be aware of that if you're really trying to
Maybe
cut back.
manage your consumption.
Manage
Is
consumption.
lean red meat better than ground beef, or does it matter?
Well,
it's because of the way
once
the
again,
cows are raised.
it's
Yeah.
once again
What
it
they're
goes back.
eating.
To,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
If they're raised organically, or how many in vaccinations they get, what they're fed, their environment, because what they eat is what you eat and what you become. And some anti-inflammatory supplements you could take would be turmeric and grapeseed extract. And if you're familiar with, and this is a new thing on the market that's coming to light, is hydrogen water. You can get hydrogen
What
tabs.
is that? Hydrogen.
Oh, it's just
Okay.
hydrogen in a tablet.
and you just put it in the water.
Put in water, it fizzes up like an Alka-Seltzer.
How does that help?
Well, it infuses oxygen into the system, and oxygen.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Fascinating. Tom, thanks for
Have
your
you
question.
heard of-
Go ahead,
Hey,
man.
no problem. Have you heard of oil of oregano?
Yes, it's great. It's great. You have to be very careful ingesting oil of oregano because it can be very stressful on the gut. So if you have any sensitive
Okay.
gut issues, you need to take it in small doses and see how it goes. And you might have to get some other medium to take the oil of oregano if you have a sensitive gut.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good
Tom,
weekend.
hope that was helpful. We'll do a herbal remedy if you want to, because I'm utterly fascinated about it. And I do have some questions about grains and breads, some theories that I've read about over the years. I want to see what you think about them
Sure.
here in just a minute. When we do it on the other side of the break, one of the healing things I did, I don't know if you'd call it healing, but it did work for me in my life, was getting LASIK surgery 7 years ago at Dr. Mark Michelson's practice. Now, he's a legend, and I knew about this practice for years and years. A lot of my friends had gone to Doc and gotten the laser surgery because he was a pioneer and brought this to Alabama back in the late 80s. But I was squishy on it. I'm just trying to relate to some of you. I was fine with my glasses. I had Stockholm syndrome. I was just like, I'm not getting that. You're not lasering me in the eyeballs. I thought it was going to be expensive. I didn't think it would stick. I just didn't know. I was ignorant. So I made an ignorant decision out of not educating myself and just never did it until I went and did an exam, only because I was meeting with Doc because he wanted to come on the show. And they started explaining it to me, and then the science made sense. And they checked me out and decided, yeah, you'd be an easy fix. My vision wasn't that bad. And sure enough, 7 years later, I'm just sitting here without my glasses. I do carry around readers if I'm in a restaurant or if I've been on the computer too long. My eyes will get a little fatigued at night. But for 7 years, I've been 2015, and it was just crazy how much it changed just my daily life and travel and everything I did. Now, Dr. Jennifer is Dr. Mark's daughter. She grew up in this world. This is what she knows. This is all she's ever wanted to do. She is one of the fine surgeons there, too. So you're dealing with two generations of practice that's going to be around for you. So if you're in glasses or contacts, at least do your homework. You may decide against it after the orientation. It's not a sales pitch. They give you both the risks and the benefits of the surgery. If you choose to do it, I hope you're as happy as I am. And The only place I'd ever send you is downtown to UAB Highlands and Dr. Mark Michelson and Dr. Jennifer Michelson at michelsonlaservision.com. Quick break. Back in a minute. Lead on Live in Buffalo, Wyoming. We're going to talk about health when we come back. Stay tuned. Is hot. Thank you, AJ. AJ, how you doing? We're sitting here. We've squirreled off over into healthcare land, and I hadn't even talked to you all day. You doing all right back there? We did that last segment. It was so long. I got to get now to the bottom. So y'all be patient with us, and we'll get that done. Let me go ahead and go to the break. We'll come back and more with our friend Laura from Buffalo, Wyoming, and your phone calls too. We'll talk about these. My friend Marty Duncan's weighed in on this food consumption thing too. We'll talk about this stuff. I think it's important. Back here in just a minute. Lead on Live. Stay tuned. This one, Laura's breaking it off over here, AJ. I may have put the camera on her. She was doing the robot. She was doing some kind of robot move. I don't know what that was. Go, Laura. It's your birthday.
Not yet. I quit having those.
It's one of my favorite bumpers. I like it. Contrasts this whole cowboy thing we're doing. Too. AJ, you remember this rap song? What was it called back in the 80s where that guy was like, da, da. It was the John Wayne rap song.
Yeah, the Rapping Cowboy.
The Rapping Cowboy. Would you play that later for me?
Yes.
It combines our two. It combines all of our worlds that we love. As we're sitting out here in Buffalo, Wyoming, hanging out with Laura doing her thing. Let me talk to y'all about Alabama Bass. We were just talking about quality of life and your food, and I want to share Marty Duncan's quote about that too. But one of those things is you age in place. And there was a long time where I lived alone. And if you ever slipped in the tub and wondered who's going to come get me, a lot of folks are in that situation, either because you're living alone in life or you're aging, it's mobility starts to change, and you just don't. Home accidents are legitimately a serious thing. Kitchens and bathrooms are the leading cause. Slip and falls in the bathroom, fires in the kitchen. We got to be safe. And you don't have to leave the home you love just because you need to make some changes. You can live in place, stay where your memories are, and improve your life with Alabama Bass. They have these beautiful systems. They're not hospital-looking systems. I'm old school. I still call it handicap. It's not handicap stuff. It's beautiful, beautiful glass and framing, but they're smart and slip-proof services thought through. Teak wood seats if you want them. They've got shelving and beautiful supports and handles that are just integrated so nicely. Everything's right. Even the plumbing, the way the plumbing works, if you want to use a one shower or any of those things are just all magnetic. It makes sense. 2-day deal. If you're a veteran, look, this is not charity. You earned this. This is part of your pay. This is part of our country honoring you for doing things for us. And if you need these services, the VA may pay for it. These corporate schmuck companies aren't going to spend time on you. They do not care about you. You're data to them. To Alabama Bass, you're a real human being. John's a veteran. However long it takes, they'll put the plan together, get you a price that you can submit, help you with the paperwork, get you through that system, be as patient as you need, and you might just be able to get the VA to get this done for you. And I think that's what's so special about good local businesses and two-generation businesses like the good folks over at Alabama Bass. So reach out to them. If you want to see one of these in person, they've got them built out right there at the showroom in Pelham, or they'll just come to you and show you what they can do. It's alabamabass.com, alabamabass.com. All right, Laura, we got into your area, which, you're very political, and I love that about you because we can talk about anything. But our audience, we don't do enough health talk on the show. But I'm semi-obsessed with this, and some of that's getting older and wanting to have a good quality of life and extend my years and keep up with this little young wife of mine and do all the things I need to do. But, again, it's when your eyes are open to some of the poisons and toxins that we consume voluntarily by making bad choices all the time. It's really frightening what's out there.
You know, I hate to say it's making bad choices because the average person doesn't realize what's in the food.
Yeah, we're just ignorant.
And the FDA, we should never trust the FDA.
At all.
At all.
No.
Because there's so many things out there that are in our foods that if you actually read the label and did the research on the ingredients, it would frighten you, literally.
I remember I used to love watching the Sunday. This is a weird story and a departure, but let's stay with it for a minute. I'd watch the Sunday morning talk shows. I loved the David Brinkley show. Even as a kid, I'd watch these old,
right.
They were calm and quiet, kind of like the show we're having today. And I always see these ads in the middle of the show for these giant agribusinesses. I remember, and I'm not accusing them of anything, but it was Archer, Daniels, Midland every Sunday. And I thought, why do they need to advertise to a news audience? And then it occurred to me that this was a newsmaker show. Most of Congress watched this thing every day. They were basically lobbying Congress. And I started thinking about how much money is spent by big agriculture lobbying members of Congress. And then later you see all the things that have happened to the food supply. It's all connected. I think the regulatory fig leaf is that they're looking out for us. And in honesty, like a lot of what they do with the drug industry, they're allowing things, I'm just saying it, because of bribery and corruption and influence in the lobby industry, to look at that our leaders look the other way, and what's actually the truth on the ground is not very healthy for us. And that's where MAHA is supposed to be the breakthrough, right? Now, here's my question about the grains and stuff. I read an article. You talked about inflammation. I read an article years ago from a heart surgeon that said we're lying to ourselves about what causes heart attacks. And he said, I've been looking down people's arteries and veins for decades. And he said, it's all inflammation. And his theory was the inflammation was coming from the corn and the wheat we're eating, because they've changed the DNA of the corn, particularly the wheat. I just memorized all this stuff. He said we eat now what's called dwarf wheat, which is designed to grow more densely per acre, better yield, better profit for the companies, which is, I'm fine with profit, but we don't process it in our body the same way we processed our grandmothers.
We don't.
Wheat and flour. It's a genetically modified.
Yes.
I think it goes through your body like liquor. It goes through your liver, not your liver deals with it more than your pancreas. I could have that wrong. But it made sense to me that just the basic things we think are healthy piece of bread, it's just, it starts at the farm level, and we never have a shot at. Does that make sense?
It starts at Monsanto.
Well, talk to me about it.
It starts at some of the more chemical companies.
Yeah.
Because let's just step back just a moment. GMO foods are not recognized in our body as a food. So that in itself creates a battle in the body to understand what it's trying to process. GMO foods have developed to a point where they have their own category of pesticides and herbicides that they use, because a GMO plant doesn't respond to normal pesticides. So the whole idea that GMO was going to reduce our use of pesticides, I don't know if they didn't know what was going to happen or they intentionally did it, is it has actually increased the use of pesticides, because the GMO crops, my understanding, have slowly developed a resistance to the pesticides, so they just keep having to make more toxic pesticides and herbicides, fungicides, to deal with the GMO crops. So GMO foods, you were talking about traveling to Europe, and you didn't have, the food tasted different, you don't have gut issues, you don't have allergies.
I felt different after 3 days. I felt like a different person after 3 days and wasn't even thinking about it. So
Europe does not use GMO foods. They will not serve Italy, especially, but
they
most
take a
of
lot
Europe,
of pride in their food.
They
supply.
take a lot of pride in their food. And so the GMO, the whole transition to GMOs, I don't know what, 20, 30, 40 years ago, was the beginning of a huge, my opinion, decline of our food supply. So now they've taken, back to the glyphosate we were talking about just a few minutes ago, they've determined us back, I think in the late 90s sometime, that if they sprayed our wheat crops with glyphosate, an extra application of glyphosate right before they harvested it, it would just completely dry out the plant and basically kill it, to make harvesting easier, shipment easier, quicker, faster, less expensive, all that. So many people, this whole celiac progression of people with celiac, and the numbers are off the charts now. There's a lot of research and a lot of the holistic doctors that contend that you do not have an allergy to wheat or gluten. You have a chemical toxic reaction to pesticides. And if you go to Europe, my husband's is mild celiac. We traveled to Europe. He ate bread every day, ate pizza every day, was not a pasta, not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I try to avoid carbs and sugars. My dad was a diabetic.
Right.
It's just something I instinctively do. We sort of ate that way a little bit, but he didn't take good care of himself, and I try to be wary of that. And I go over there and just decide, hey, I'm on vacation. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm eating all the pasta, I'm eating all the bread.
Right, and you're fine.
And I literally, and granted, you're walking more because they're a pedestrian culture. You'll put in miles every day just going to see everything. But I came home 5 pounds lighter.
I came home 8 pounds lighter from Italy.
Really?
8 pounds.
How long
and
were you
I
there?
ate a couple weeks.
Yeah, and it was my first trip. The gelato, every night I had a gelato. Didn't bother me
On
at all.
vacation.
Yeah.
All hands,
Yeah.
nothing. Doesn't matter. Eat it ate what I want, 8 pounds.
How do we change that? Will Maha be able to change it? Trump's only got 2 years left.
Yeah,
And I don't see anybody on the horizon who's going to be this risk-taking as a politician to keep these kind of things in place, even if the Republicans win. And I like some of the potential successors, but I don't see them being as aggressive. They're more politicians than he
They
is.
are, and like I said earlier, one of my huge disappointments was this whole development with, again, the glyphosate. They were trying to get it to where they would use it less or eliminate it from our food supply, and Monsanto and the big money came in and
Bought 'em off.
And now I can't remember the exact outcome, but they were looking for immunity.
Do you think, well, kind of like the pharmaceuticals got with the COVID stuff? I mean,
Yep.
they got immunity. You can't sue them. Do you think the Maha thing will continue? Because you're in this world where you know this stuff and you know politics. Do you think Maha can survive 2 years from now? Will there some of the reforms that are made, like getting some of the food dyes out, some of the processed, the ways things are processed have been changed? Companies have stepped up to the PR hit and said, "Oh, look, we're going to do better." I think what's the chain that's really going to beef tallow, not Steak and Shake. It may be Steak and Shake.
Could be. I don't
Steak and
know.
Shake.
It's Steak and Shake, isn't it, AJ? They've gone to more pure beef and beef tallow in their fries and stuff. And that's a good PR move for them. And I just wonder if it'll last or they go back to whatever's cheap and efficient once this is over.
I think it's all about what kind of support they get from administration.
Yeah. You don't think it's marketing and publicity and health? It's just.
Oh, I
politics part
do
of it?
think if the market left alone will drive it that way.
I do too, because
But-
people are becoming aware, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And there's more and more products that are with avocado oils and beef tallow and olive oils instead of the seed oils. And that's just one tiny little facet of the whole problem that we have with our food supply in America. The nutritional value in our food from 1940, pre-World War II, when they decided pesticides were the way to go with our commercial farming, to the 90s, we have lost on average, some things even more, over 60% nutritional value in our foods. So back in the 50s, you could eat corn on the cob and you could get, X number of nutrients from this food. Calcium was like at 7, I don't know numbers, but this amount. If you ate that same corn on the cob in 1985, the nutrition in it was reduced by over 60%.
Is some of that because of this ethanol thing? We're raising corn to put in
It's
fuel?
not just corn; it's across the board, and it's because of
for sure, yeah.
pesticides. And the pesticides kill the microbiomes in the soil,
Yeah,
and then we have to put the nitrogen and the phosphates, potassium,
Because we're
back in
depleting
the soil,
and then we're
with
gonna,
the pesticides.
and then we got to artificially enrich the soil.
Yes,
and
it's not the
everything
same.
that is eaten from it and everything we're growing from it's just
It's
junk.
dead food.
Is there any clean soil left?
Wow.
I mean, it's been sprayed. A buddy of mine and I were talking about this a couple of years ago. He was saying it's hard to find a patch of dirt that hasn't had
It is.
contamination.
It is. And I do know that if you grow certain crops, and hemp is one of them, it will regenerate the soil, but I'm not sure how much it would actually clean out the
Or how long it would
residue.
take to turn
Years.
out.
Beyond generational.
Yeah, because we're planting crops in soil that's been there for, I guess, millions of years or whatever. Or had to. I was reading something about that out here in the plains because the dirt's real rich and black, where the buffalo. I may have all this wrong, but the buffalo herds would go through and turn it, and it would help enrich it and grow it. And then once the herds thinned out, the soil changed
Yes.
because the buffalo weren't going through.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's proven fact.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, is it Salatin, the farmer?
AJ, we're getting deep into some food science over here. Y'all can have your little breaking bread show. We're trying to make everybody hate food.
No, I
AJ,
want you to
AJ
love
has a
food.
show after this where they talk about fun stuff with the food. And we talk a lot about food on our station, but we're getting into the conspiracy theory food now.
This is not conspiracy. I got receipts, man.
I know it. I know. I'm just making fun of us. I'm fascinated by all this stuff. I mean, I think a lot of Americans are just having it out there in public discussion about the whole quote Maha thing is making people curious.
A lot more aware and curious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, fun stuff. Here we are. Let me get to some commercials. AJ, how far behind am I? I get caught up listening to Laura, and I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. By the way, I was going to share what we have a celebrity chef, a friend of the show, and a good friend of ours, Marty Duncan, used to do stuff, and she still does on Food Network and all these food shows.
Right.
And she's Marty's very open about some of her health struggles as well. And she and I'll wind up talking about this stuff. But when we started talking about the young man that called in a little while ago, she said eliminate sugar in all forms, includes alcohol. Best place to start. Intermittent fasting, she recommended. Osteoarthritis is something that she's been dealing with for 3.5 years. And she's not as knowledgeable about the other stuff. But sugar's the enemy of cancer and some of these other things as well, right?
Sugar is absolutely. It feeds
because it
cancer.
feeds it.
It
Yeah.
feeds it.
It's the fuel. Yeah.
It's converted to a glucose, and cancer cells absorb glucose. But sugar is if sugar was put on the market today, and they did a study on the addictive qualities of sugar, it would be in the same category as heroin.
You mean psychologically? How
No,
people
physically
wanna hit-
addictive.
Physically.
Addictive.
And why are they putting it into stuff, or is it just it's good for profit? I
It
guess.
just makes things taste better, and
Yeah, it
people
does.
it creates a craving, just like MSG would in the food.
And now I feel guilty because I ate pancakes this morning. I don't ever eat.
Don't
pancakes.
feel guilty because you eat
I
food. Just
didn't-
make better choices or different
I see
choices.
I had a choice. There's a RV park that we always hit in Cody, and they do this little thing where they just get up and cook pancakes for the campers. And I had to do one. I put huckleberries on it too.
Oh, nice. See, you offset it.
I put so
Huckleberry.
much syrup
You put
on
some
it.
fruit on
And I don't
it.
ever do that, but I did it today, and I had no idea I'd get this kind of show this afternoon.
And if you want to do healthy pancakes, use true maple syrup and not
Not
fake,
that
not
fake-
fake
yeah,
maple
not that
syrup, because
fake
that's
stuff.
high fructose corn syrup, and nobody needs high
Man,
fructose
I
corn
could
syrup.
talk about this to 6, and we might. You never know. Ox Foundation Solutions, bringing you the show this afternoon. I do appreciate Ox and what they do. It's funny because I'm telling you about Ox right when I'm watching all my cameras around the house and some work going on. I've got a foundation being laid right now on an expansion project on the house, and it's always fascinating to me how much work has to go in the very fundamental thing that your whole house rests on, how much time it takes to get all that right. And when it goes wrong quickly, especially in our climate with the humidity and the heat and the constant rain. You can wind up with mold. You talk about health, allergens and mold spores in the air from
Mold spores.
black mold under the house when it starts growing. Ox can handle all of the things that happen to your foundation, and it can start with water intrusion. It's because of a crack that was caused by erosion that can create a shift, and then you got water ponding underneath your house. Next thing you know, you got mold in the air, and then it's growing in the walls, and then it just compounds. You got to break that up with a company that can handle all of it. They can remove the black mold. They can remediate all that, get the encapsulation done so it doesn't come back, get the water out, fix the cracks and shifts. They can level your whole house. They can fix your driveway cracks, and if your driveway and walkways are not level, they got great technology to level those back out very efficiently and affordably. This is the company I trust to do all this for you, to make your own house healthy. You've got a sick house if you're breathing that stuff every single day. Oxstrong.com, oxstrong.com. Back here in just a minute. I'm Leland Live, talking to FM5. AJ, I'm ready. I don't know. Are we hot? All right, we good. 455 Leland Live out here in Buffalo, Wyoming. What do you call people from Wyoming? Are they Wyomingites? Wyomingans?
Wyomingites.
Wyomingites?
Wyomingites.
I got to practice that. I never know, and I've stumbled over that 2 or 3 times already on the trip. Hey, we got 2 more great sponsors. I need to do a little catching up here. I got so fascinated with what Laura was telling us. We got 2 other great sponsors that can help you on your home. One is serious and one's fun. Let's do the serious one first. That is Greg Nelson at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg is just, almost 30 years in the business. He's got 10. This man has 10 kids, and they almost all of them work in the business. They're grownish. So they're up there on the roofs. I'm not talking about little babies or anything. His daughters are helping with the insurance adjusters. You got to do things right in that business. The installation has to be right, or the warranties won't be honored by the manufacturers of the products. If you do a claim with an insurance company and you submit a bunch of bogus stuff that some other fly-by-night roofer tries to get you to submit to get paid, you could get your policy dropped. Greg knows what the insurance companies require, what's legitimate, what's an honest claim. He can document that for you, time, date, place, what, when, where, and how the damage is. And you're much more likely, these insurance companies work with him all the time, to get that thing processed the right way with those companies. He even has finance companies to come along and help you get this kind of stuff financed if you've got a huge out-of-pocket deductible. I just think the world of Greg and the way he works. So jot this number down. You may not have a roof issue right now. Your roof's good, or no storm damage or any of that stuff. But suddenly you could need a roofer with our kind of weather. And Greg works on a phone number, so I want you to put this somewhere just in case. Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. Now for the fun stuff. Do you have a pool?
No.
I don't see as many pools out here.
Well, it's too cold.
Well, you know how warm it is being from Texas. A pool is just something to have. And the way they build them nowadays is you can sort of scale the pool down but build outdoor fireplaces and kitchens and
I love that.
Living like with a fireplace and a TV so you can watch the ball game. Your pool's over there with the cool lighting on it. Makes a nice entertainment space. For more months out of the year, we don't get that much cold weather in Birmingham.
There, no.
We get about 3 weeks, but it makes building a pool make sense. Distinctive pools. That's Gary Levac. Gary alone has 40 years experience at pool building, and then you add his team in there. He's got a team of veteran builders and designers around him. Starts with the design, and that's how you're going to figure up your budget. So if you're just sitting around wringing your hands thinking about it like a lot of people will do, not sure if you want to pull the trigger, just do some due diligence. Let them come out and give you an estimate, give you a design, let you see what it would look like. Then you've made an informed decision. He's also got finance companies can help you make this a dream for your kids or grandkids or your families or whoever. Just don't invite Cousin Eddie. It's distinctivepools.com, distinctivepools.com. All right, just playing a little catch-up there as we're sitting here at the Occidental. Crowd's starting to pick up, Laura. I just saw a real cowboy walk in.
Told you.
I think I can tell the difference between the real ones and the fake ones.
Yeah.
I've been out here long enough.
There's a lot of the real ones that are in Sheridan this week because it's Sheridan Wild
Sheridan Rodeo. How far is that away from here?
30 miles.
Okay, yeah, because somebody was in here a little while ago and they were going to the rodeo there.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of rodeos, rodeo season out here. And we'll wind up in Cheyenne by the end of next week at the daddy of them all. It's going to be fun stuff. Y'all hang in here with us. It's Leland Live on the Road, America's 250. One more hour to go with my co-host Laura from Buffalo. And, man, we got deep into some food talk there. We might keep going with that if y'all want to. 545-9950, Leland Live.